government qualifiers, zonal eliminations, and to state finals. 10 sporting events will be showcased, including athletics, basketball, chess, football, Scrabble, swimming, table tennis, taekwondo, tennis, and volleyball, while cricket will be exhibited as a demonstration game. Application forms can be obtained at the Anambra Sports Development Commission, Ministry of Education, or Car Local Government Education Department offices and Private School Proprietors Association. Submission of entry forms will close on May 12, 2023. The Solution Governor, His Excellency Professor Charles Soludo, is poised towards empowering the Anambra youth through Sports Solution Initiative. Be part of the success story.
A very good morning to you. Many thanks for joining us for Monday edition of our Sports Today on ABS TV. Happens live here in our studio in Oka. I am Ike Mwokedi. For some of you can watch the program live via, of course, our Facebook page. On the show today, Rivers United picks a valuable points against the Rangers International in match day 18 of the Nigeria Professional Football League. We'll tell you what's happening in our state. It's all about the Anambra State School Sports Festival, a program of the Anambra State Sports Development Commission under the leadership of Patrick Estate Enyedum. We'll also be telling you about Formula One, as Formula One donates €1 million to relief funds for Romagna Emilia flooding, plus a result service and interview segment on the sports show Sports Today on ABS TV. Now let's begin with our first story. Our first story is about the Anambra School Sports Festival, which is happening across the state right now. It's at the community level. 179 communities are involved. Well, let's tell you that Erie Primary School Aguleri on Friday, 19th May 2023, defeated Central School Otuocha by 2 unreplied goals to emerge winners of the male under 13 football event at the ongoing Anambra School Sports Festival. The win for Erie Primary School ended the bragging right to represent Anambra East at the LGA stage for the football event. According to the local government sports secretary and coordinator for the sports festival for the local government, Bridget Onyekwe, a total of 12 schools are registered for the keenly contested event played at the Otuocha Township Stadium. To get to this stage before emerging champions, Erie Primary School, we are drawn by in the first round. They, however, defeated their opponents from Community Primary School, Iwezunu Umweri, by a lone goal in the quarterfinals, while obliterating Enuobodo Community School Umweri by 12 goals to 0. There are 10 sporting events featuring at the festival, which includes athletics, basketball, chess, football, Scrabble, swimming, table tennis, volleyball, taekwondo, while cricket will serve as a demonstration sport. In a related development now, let's talk about volleyball. Washington Memorial Grammar School male team through to the local government stages of the ongoing Anambra School Sports Festival. Washington saw off Metropolitan Boys by 2 sets to 0. That's a 25-4 and 25-2 in a keenly contested match played at the volleyball court of the True by Azu Stadium, Onitsha. Washington and Metropolitan Boys are expected to represent Onitsha North LGA at the local government stage. And in the final category, Washington and Ado Girls will represent the local government at the next stage of the competition. In the first match of the group, having 3 schools, Washington saw off Inland Girls by 2 sets to 0, 25-10, 25-3. And in the second game, Washington also got the better of Ado Girls by 2 sets to 0. That's 25-6 and 25-13. While the third match, Ado Girls defeated Inland Girls by 2 sets to 0, 25-7, 25-9 to secure their advancement to the crucial LGA stage. And it may interest you to know that action continues at the ongoing Anambra School Sports Festival. And of course, watch out for the local government the stage. I will also be having the zonal stages also. And then the finals is coming up from the 21st to the 24th of this month. This time, the Oka City Stadium will be hosting that. We'll be bringing it home and then give our fans the opportunity to be at the administrative capital to witness what is extraordinary at the grassroots level, all made possible by the Anambra State Sports Development Commission under the leadership of Patrick Estate Onyedum, who's trying to rewrite and change the history of sports at the grassroots level in their state. And we'll continue to follow up on proceedings and bring you up to the very latest as regards what's happening from the community community down to local government, zonal stage, and at the stage as the school sports festival goes on. Away from that, but we'll still have to come back to that later on the show. Let's talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League, the NPFL. The season finale was yesterday, and the match was played at the Oka City Stadium, and we'll call it the Theatre of Dreams of Anambra Football. Rivers United picked up a valuable point on the final day of their Bridge Nigeria Premier League season NPFL match day 18 clash against Rangers International FC of Enugu in a match played at the Oka City Stadium. The Flying Antelopes took the lead in the 14th minute of the match of a quick counter-attacking move which saw Samuel Pam connect with Chide Berenwobodo's true passer in a one-on-one situation with Rivers United goalkeeper Sochima Victor, as Pam's efforts came off the goalkeeper and ricocheted off the latter into an empty net, and Rivers United restored parity through the dead ball specialist Chidi Ebube Duru, who called in a free kick just outside the box into the net beyond Rangers International goalkeeper Detan Ogundare. We hear it was the fourth free kick for him. The two sides are kept on pressing on to take the lead with chances few and far between as the center referee called time on the game. Coach Abdul Maikaba lamented the numerous chances created in the first half, but for failure to convert the chances, they have to settle for a point. We should have won the game in the first half, having created a lot of scoring chances, but we couldn't utilize it. And against the run of play, Rivers United equalized. It is a part of our football. We have tried well. We are glad that we retained our Premier League status, considering the fact that we did not start well, but this time around there is an improvement in the latter stages. Kudos to my players for their commitment and effort, Abu Makaba stated. Rangers International FC Administrative Secretary Barrister Ferdinand Ugwara eulogized the fans for trooping out in their numbers for the final day of the season. Ugwara thanked them for their immense support all through the Abridge season, supporting, praising, and even expressing their worries when the results end favoring the team. He promised that the Flying Antelopes will be fortified and much better come the next season. Rivers United team manager praised his boys for their performance in team manager in their as they qualified to play in the Super Six. He described the season as outstanding, although it was an average season. Neguma said that the team will now focus on the upcoming Super Six and ensure that they play well to emerge the league winners and secure a continental place. On his part, the Rivers State Commissioner for Sports, Barrister Chris Green, commended the organizers for the initiative and innovations in improving the league, and Green frowned at the abridged league system, which he described as an anomaly for the flow and administration of club football in Nigeria. The general manager of the club, Chief Dr. Oke Baluku, re-echoed the views of Barrister Green by commending the interim management committee of the IMC for their vision and plan for the league system, which is better in terms of administration and officiating. With the results, Rivers United now top the Group B with 36 points from 18 matches, and will slug it out with Lobby Stars, Sunshine Stars, and Bendel Insurance, as well as Enyimba International and Remo Stars in the upcoming Super 6 season. Moving away from that one, let's talk about tennis quickly. Olajide Omotayo returned to the big stage with a rematch against England's Paul Drinkhall in the first round of the men's singles at the 2023 ITTF World Championships taking place in Durban, South Africa. Omotayo, whose last outing for Nigeria was at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, United Kingdom, will begin his campaign on Sunday, May 21 against the Englishman who last defeated the Nigerian at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in the bronze medal match of the men's teams event. And also, let's tell you that Nigeria's Taiwo Mati caused one of the major upsets at the ongoing ITTF World Championships after the Nigerian took down Czech Republic's Lubomir Yankarika 4-2 in the first round of the men's singles. Mati, who was making his debut at the global tournament, showed tenacity and confidence against the experienced Czech Republic player to become one of the few African players progressing to the second round of the competition. You're watching Sports Today on ABS TV. It is live at the Monday edition, the first one for the week. And now time for us to bring it back home and talk about and what is happening as regards school sports in the state. The School Sports Festival approved by the #1 citizen of the state, His Excellency Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, and it is a program being administered, coordinated and facilitated by the Anambra State Sports Development Commission under the leadership of Patrick Estate Onyedum. Well, joining me in the house this morning to talk about school sports, I have the sports consultant of the Anambra State Sports Development Commission in the person of Oluyomi Sule. He joins me on the show this morning to talk about the ongoing school sports in this stage, the stage you have gotten, what do we anticipate. Good morning to you, Mr. Oluyomi Sule. Good to have you on the show on Sports Today.
Good morning, Dr. Ike. Thanks for having me.
I'm delighted to see you. Well, first of all, before we start talking about school sports, Oluyomi Sule may not be a name people may be familiar with in this divine terrain. You may wish to tell us more about your playing career and involvement in sports, from your playing career to being a sports administrator.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Oluyomi Sule is a household name in Nigeria, Nigerian track and field especially.
Okay.
We did play the game from the scratch, school sports all the way to the top. And as a very experienced person who has seen it all at the World Championship, Commonwealth Games, Olympics, and all whatnot, we decided to bring, our experience back to the grassroots where it all started. So when Patrick Onyedum was made the chairman of the Sports Commission, he reached out to some of us to please help grow this sports back again, and so that gave birth to all the program you're seeing right now.
Now, having said that, of course, you've been here for a couple of months now, and you've seen things, how it is here at the grassroots level and accentuating to the local government level. How would you assess sports development at the grassroots level in Anambra State currently?
As a matter of fact, I see Anambra State as the hub of sports in general. And I tell you what, in the nearest future, Anambra State is going to be like the capital of sports development in this state. We have all the resources. We have the capital. We have the human resources. You need to see all these athletes, how excited they are about this whole thing. And I tell you what, over the years, we've been making a whole lot of mistakes about sports. If you know what used to happen those days, you go into sport, they consider you as somebody who is wasting your talent and wasting your time. It's all about education. But today, education is meeting with sports, and that's why you see a whole lot of sportsmen who are medical doctors, lawyers, and a whole lot of profession. So the best place to catch these people is through education, all right? And I tell you what, if you look at the number of athletes who are involved in this program, you will agree with me that in a very short period of time, we'll have a whole lot of champions coming out of this state.
Now, having said this, the School Sports Festival, it is tagged this concept, ANSI. School Sports Festival has commenced in NX. We are at the community level about coming to a crescendo. We are getting set and to the local government level. How do you assess the performance of the student athletes now performing at the under 13 and equally the under 17 levels?
All right. So the concept is what we had before was when there is a scenario of sports coming up, we wait for them to come to the capital. You understand me? Those who can afford to come. But this time around, we took the game down to the cranes. So that's where a whole lot of talents abound. Now, if you ask me what I see, I will tell you just between last week and now, we have a whole lot of talents who will do us proud and do their family proud. I'm saying do their family proud in the sense that, if you will agree with me, I think sports is about the only thing that bridges the gap between the rich and the poor. These are the only thing for now that can bring a totally poor person to the highest level and become so rich. And that's why you see somebody like Osimhen earning millions of pounds sterling in a week. You understand? If you're not rich, you can't get to that level in some other spheres. Okay, so I tell you what, we need to take advantage of this and bring out people out of poverty.
Okay.
So it's another form of poverty alleviation. If the government focuses straight into sports and bring them up as much as possible.
That's moving from penury to riches. That's the idea of Oluyomi Sule, who's our guest today on Sports Today on ABS TV, live in our studio. He's a sports consultant to the Anambra State Sports Development Commission. Still talking about the school sports. Now you've given us a vivid assessment of the student athletes, how they are performing at the grassroots level. What about the sports administrators, the sports officers at the education level, at the local government level, from the education level for PPSSC, ASUBEP, and all of you, other stakeholders? What have been their involvement, and how do you rate what they have put in ensuring that this becomes a success?
All right. So first of all, kudos to the Honorable Commissioner for Education, who actually is in full support of this whole thing. Of course, we know in the days past, we used to have physical education as part of the curriculum of the school. Okay, so she's fully in support of this. Kudos, of course, to the local government chairman, local government, all the what do you call them?
The local government
21, exactly.
Yeah.
They have been doing everything possible to make sure it's a success. And then to the sports coordinators around the 21 local government, they've not been sleeping. They've been doing everything possible to make sure they carry all the schools along. You can imagine how tedious this thing is. 21 local government, 179 communities, and we're talking about over 15,000 students. You know, you coordinate them, so you have to look into how you drop them at the community level, at the local government level, and all the way before we have the final, qualifiers to the state level. So we already started noting down names, of very notable athletes who will fly at the end of the day. So I tell you what, all hands are on deck. And everybody who's responsible for this success would definitely smile at the end of the day.
Now, for these talents that will churn out from the grassroots, how do you manage these talents? It's not about churning out talents, and at the end we'll ask a question. How do you manage these talents? How do you ensure that they keep in pace and informed, maybe for the foreseeable future?
Absolutely. The problem we've had over the years still is how is management, okay? One thing is to identify talents. Another thing is to take the talents actually to the promised land. So there are lots of programs lined up, okay? Nationally, there is always this National Youth Sports Festival that comes up every year. It used to be in Kwara State, but now there is an MOU with
Ministry of Sports and Delta
State
government.
Okay, actually. So we have to use this as a stepping stone. Immediately after this program, all the athletes, all the talents that were identified will go to summer school during the long vacations. Okay. So rather than the athletes roaming around, some of them engaging in social vices and the rest of them, we have a special way of putting them into camp whereby education will meet sports. They will go to school, not school this time around, but summer school, inside the camp. They will be in camp taking care of education, while in the evening they go out to do sports. This way they will interact with each other. This way they will be trained how to, mix with their people socially. And this way they will continue until we go for the National Sports Youth Festival. And from there, most of them will be identified, to represent Nigeria. And from there on, the game continues.
Okay, now we're having the transition already from community level going to the local government level. Give us a more insight on what we anticipate before the finals on June 24th.
Okay, by this weekend, the local government competition will start. And what it means is that every local government will, this is not going to be community. What we're doing before is within the community. Now it's going to be intra-local government. So all the communities in the local government will come together to compete, to bring out 2 qualifiers. In football, 2 teams. In basketball, 2 teams. In athletics, 2 representatives per event.
Okay.
Of course, we have so many events in athletics. For example, we have the long jump, the 100 meters, the high jump. So we have two representatives. So at the end of the day, we're expecting to have about 185 athletes to represent each local government. And then from the local government, after the local government competition, we will go to the zonal qualifiers.
Yeah.
The zonal qualifiers will take place among the 7 local governments within a senatorial district. Okay? So, competition between the 7 local governments for us to get the best 2 once again that will come to the state final. And the state final will be coming up here in Awka, the state capital, between the 21st to 24th of June.
And I can tell you that the ABS management are interested at this level. They want to see the coverage of this from the local government level to the zonal and then to the state finals.
Absolutely. We really give gratitude to you people. You've been doing everything possible, not just ABS, but all newsmen and reporters. They've been reporting this, they've been covering this, and we appreciate this very much.
Just finally, your message to the student athletes and school, zonal, local government coordinators as we anticipate the finals of the school sports event on June 24th.
All right. So for the students, you can have just one chance to showcase what you have. This is an opportunity. It's something that don't come usually.
Yeah.
So I will say to the student, they should go out there and do their best, put in their best to be identified. And I tell you what, it's not all about being on top of your game for now. This sports of a thing involves a whole lot of things. Yeah. Discipline is part of it. Punctuality is part of it. If you're there at the right time, if you lower your head to listen to what your teachers are telling you, you will always get to the top. And for the officials, let's just get this right. You know, people don't know that this is another kind of job on its own entirely. Okay. If you play your role as a games master from secondary school, you can grow up to either become a coach, a national coach that will take Nigerian athletes out to international competition. You can become a manager, a sports manager. You understand, if you're able to coordinate athletes very, very well, you could become a referee, a professional referee, which is another profession on its own. So the door is open for people. We're actually using one stone to kill as many birds as we can.
All right, Mr. Oluyomi Sule, the sports consultant to the Anambra State Sports Development Commission, I would like to thank you so much for being on the show on a very short notice.
I appreciate this, and anytime you call me, I will always be here.
And be rest assured that, of course, in due course, we'll continue to bring you up to the very latest as regards that. And before the finals, we hope you'll be back here again to talk about the finals and what to anticipate. And that's Mr. Oluyomi Sule, the sports consultant to the Anambra State Sports Development Commission, talking about the ongoing Anambra school sports. Before we jet on the show quickly, let's tell you that Manchester City, we are crowned the champions of the Premier League for the 3rd time in 4 years. That was yesterday when they played at Chelsea. They defeated Chelsea by 1-0. In other results in the Premier League, Brighton defeated Southampton 3-1, West Ham 3, Leeds United 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Arsenal 0, Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 1, Fulham 2, Crystal Palace 2, Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 1, West Ham United 1, Everton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1, Brentford 3, and Newcastle United will be taking on Leicester City. And Leicester City's fate will be decided tonight to know if they will be staying in the Premier League or not. That's about the size of the show this morning, Sports Today on ABS TV. Thank you very much for listening from the entire team. My name is Ike Nwokede. Have a lovely week and keep sporting. Bye-bye now.